So you're the Senior Director of Information Technology, Consumer Insights, and Targeting Global Product Development at Experian Marketing Services. That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
So that's a major company. Give us a microscopic view of what is it that you do for this organization.
Sure. So Experian is primarily known for its credit services, but we actually have a lot of different businesses within that umbrella. So I'm primarily working in the market research area, and probably in a 1 to 2 sentence summary, we try to give our clients a 360-degree view of their customers. So on the market research side, we collect all sorts of data, and we process all of this information, shoot it out to our clients through client analytical tools, special consulting, all of those activities. And this allows us to help our clients get that view in there so that they can better target their customers. So I run then the development group that actually creates all of these applications. So whether it's a web application, whether it's an internal production application, all of that is coming out from the group that I lead. I also co-lead groups that are out in Australia, out in Malaysia, out in Costa Rica. So I have almost a 24-hour clock going.
Tell me a little bit, because that's my next question, about some of these global projects that you're involved in.
Sure. So what we have done with one of the companies that we're working with in Australia, well, sister company actually, is that we're actually trying to combine assets and data sets. So Simmons, which is the company that Experian purchased, actually collects the profile data. On the Hitwise side, which is the other business that Experian purchased, they bring us all of the web traffic data. And so what we're doing on one of our global projects is now combining that data so that we can give our customers a profile of the customers that visit the various websites. So we can say customer age 18 goes to Google and Facebook, and they also buy Listerine from Winn-Dixie.
Okay. So part of this data mining, that
Yes.
now, that's something that has been applauded and it's been criticized. Talk a little bit about that piece in terms of its usage and how we as consumers quite often, because those alarm bells are being
Yes.
rang now or more often around privacy and things like that.
Yeah, and that is a good question. We do have customers that are concerned about their privacy. When we go out to have people join our, whether it's a panel or participate in filling out in one of our survey booklets and what have you, we provide the information on the things that will be protected, the things that will be shared, and they consent, and agree to participate and say, well, yes, it's okay if you share, my demographic information.
What is it that attracted you to this field? What was the roadmap that you took that brought you to this? Your degrees in computer science, information systems, and you're now doing your PhD?
Yes, in
information
systems.
Systems. That led you up to here. Tell me about that roadmap and what are some of the challenges that you experienced?
Sure. So interestingly, I had intended, my goal was to actually be a pediatrician. I actually wanted to work on little kids and babies and things of that nature. And then right here locally at Nova High, they brought Apple computers, and this was 1982, so I'm going to date myself a little bit. So they come in with this little black Mac computer with the 5 1/4 disc that you put in, and there was a classmate that was with me that started programming right away. His dad had worked for IBM, and so he already knew how to program. And I said, "What is that? How did you make the screen do that? How did you make the stick man, run across the screen?" And so I became intrigued with development and programming at that point. So I asked my mother at the time, this is when you would hook sort of this console like a Commodore 20 or Commodore 64 to the television set. And I had her go out and get me one of those, and I began doing all this basic, all of the basic programming. And I said, Mom, this is what I want to do. I want to go into computer science when I go to college. And so went ahead, as you mentioned earlier, and I majored in computer science, and I came out and I started working for my first company that I worked for was Birch Radio, and it is also a market research company. They were providing radio ratings for radio stations, so we could come and tell at the time WRBD or WEDR that you're number one in the market in this age bracket. So similar to kind of what we're doing today, but with radio information. And so at that same job is where I met my mentor. He was impressed with the work that I was doing because of the position that he had in the company. He was able to influence or be an advocate for me to showcase, my talents and say, hey, this is a young lady that really has it together. She's really smart. Here's what she brings to the table. And it was from that, it was with his sort of, with his mentorship, with his guidance, that I was able to start, moving up the ladder.
As you talked about having a mentor in the past, do you currently have a mentor, or do you function as a mentor for young people?
Both.
Is that something that is still important?
Both, yes it is. I still have that same mentor from some 25 years ago.
Wonderful.
We still just had lunch this week with him. So we still maintain that relationship. I actually also mentor a couple of people here in the office, and a couple outside of the office as well. If I didn't mentor, I wouldn't know what the young people's challenges are. I wouldn't know what they feel, the issues and concerns are.
So the challenges, were there any? What are some of the ones that you faced?
I think the greatest challenge that I've had, and we spoke about it a little bit earlier, was actually, becoming a part of a larger company. When you're working more from an entrepreneurial vantage point, you can pretty much do things when you want to do them. When you're in the corporate space, you kind of have to wait in line and follow the rules and processes and procedures. And certainly there are reasons why there are processes and procedures. They have to protect, the larger brand, but it can be a challenge to getting things done quickly. In addition to that challenge, also working with global teams in various time zones.
What are some of your personal styles that you brought to the table to be able to address some of those challenges and some of those nuances that you experienced?
Yeah, I think that one of the things is that I put people first. So it's never about me. I want to be sure that everyone is working together in a collaborative manner, that they are excited and passionate about what they do. And in order to achieve that, I had to understand and really get to learn the different personalities of the people on the other side. And I think by taking that time to understand and the needs, the want, having some of that empathy that kind of women naturally bring to the table, I think that helped me in opening up and getting people to work together.